Hello everyone, it's Sal Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Sorry guys for the late show today, guys. I've been traveling all over the place, driving around. Couldn't do a stream, unfortunately. I was unable. I can't do two things at once. A bit like Man United in the transfer window. I can't do two things at once. I can't drive and do a stream at the same time. Talking about transfer news, driving, transfer news, driving, traffic lights, transfer news. Absolutely, guys. More like traffic lights than transfer news. Absolutely. Basically, that's what it is. Man United have come to a stop. Red light. Traffic lights for Man United's transfer window, of course, guys. That is what it's all about with Manchester United. And, guys, can I stop for a second? Can I stop? R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania. I grew up with Hulkamania. What a legend that guy was. Whatever you think about the immortal Hulk Hogan, I just want to say thank you to Hulk Hogan. As a guy who's worked with the WWE in the past, done little bits and bobs with the WWE, I know how important and I know what a great inspiration Hulk Hogan was. A great man, a great person, a great personality. And I just want to say, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Whatever you think about him, man, he's a legend, what he done in his career, of course. And I want to say R.I.P. to him because of absolutely shocking news coming through, of course, in regards to the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania will live forever, of course, guys, absolutely. But let's get straight into it, guys. Let's go straight into the news about Manchester United. Firstly, I want to talk about the Glazers. Do you mind me talking about the Glazers and Ineos? Apparently, they're going to do something like an NFL sort of thing in regards to the ticket prices. Basically, no one is guaranteed a season ticket, even if you pay for your season ticket. So you're going to have to put a deposit on the season ticket, and then you're still going to have to pay for your season ticket. So basically, you're going to have to pay about 4,000 euros, pounds, whatever it is, to reserve your seat. And then at the end of the season, you're still going to have to buy a ticket. Goodness me, I did say it earlier on. Jim Ratcliffe, you know what Jim Ratcliffe reminds me of? He reminds me of one of those people who don't like anyone who's not rich. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of those sort of people, that turns his nose up at people who are not rich. Do you know what I mean? It just gives me an air of that sort of guy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but it just comes across as an awful human being, guys. That's all it is. And I can't say much more than that, absolutely. But yeah, Man United season tickets, everything seems to going up, doesn't it? At the end of the day, everything seems to be going up for the poor folk, for the people who are going to pay for the seats. Ticket prices going up, absolutely disgraceful, of course. Should have gave it to Qatar. Should have left. Jim Ratcliffe should have got his big bloody vanity nose out of our business and left the football club alone, of course, guys. Let's get into some of your comments, guys. Absolutely brilliant to see all of you guys in the stream. Bring me Isak now, guys. Look, you know what? I'm going to get into this. Is Isak a reality or is it a absolute dream, guys, at the end of the day? Let me write a little poll here, guys. Let me write a poll. Simon. Let me write a poll. Right, here we go. So I'm going to write a poll, okay? Is Isak a realistic proposition for Manchester United? Let me just say that, Simon, okay? So we could, I would love Isak. You know what? Would be an absolute, I just didn't ever think it was realistic. But let's do this. Is Isak a realistic target? Okay? So here we go. Is Isak a realistic target, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no? Here we go. Yes or no? Is Isak a realistic target, guys? Absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Liverpool. Jamie, Liverpool getting Isak. They're winning 21. We are finished, guys. Listen, cheers. That's all I could say is that at the end of the day, Jamie's right. At the end of the day, the way that Liverpool are doing things at the moment, they sign Isak. Just close it up. Just finish it off. End the stream, guys. End the stream. End the season because it's going to be Liverpool's title. Absolutely. It's going to be a mad thing. Absolutely. Next season. We're not going to go anywhere near that, of course, guys. I'm sorry, but why has this fan base so sure Isak would want to come here? We have no Champions League. You think he'd pick up exactly what I'm saying, Jamie? I would love Isak. Even if we paid 300 grand a week, why would Isak want to come to Manchester United? What is the stipulation? And do you think that Newcastle United would want to sell Isak to Manchester United? Do you think they'll want to sell Isak to Man United? I can't see Newcastle selling Isak to Man United. I really can't. Ephraim, good evening, sir. Good evening, Ephraim. Hope you're doing well. I'm fearing this owners will go further down. Big up, Ephraim. Hope not, mate. Hope it's not like the Niagara Falls. We had Niagara Falls dressed in red today, basically. And yeah, hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Hopefully, as I said earlier, that's not subliminal. And that doesn't mean we're going to be washed down the pan, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so big up Ephraim. So is it true Watkins' deal is off? I'm not entirely sure that the deal is off. The price is a little bit way off what Man United want to pay. Man United do not want to pay 50, 60 million for Isak. Aston Villa want 50, 60 million for Isak, and that's where you go with that at the moment. You know, Man United obviously took their time buying Mbeumo, who was much younger, who is a future prospect, and, you know, and a fabulous player. Man United seem reluctant to pay 50, 60 million for a 29-year-old. Then move it on. Because at the end of the day, what it does look like at the moment, and we have to be very careful here, because it does look like Newcastle United could possibly sell Isak and bring in Sesko. News coming out here, especially in Italy, that Newcastle are interested in Sesko as well. So if Isak leaves Newcastle United, they bring in Sesko. Where are we going to go next, guys? Where the hell are we going to go next? Where's it going to happen? Bad deal. It is getting a little bit treacherous, of course. Ephraim, smash the likes and subscribe. Thank you so much, you legend. Hope you're doing well. Sal, is there any true that we cannot sign strikers for the first period of the game? Ephraim, what I would say to you, my friend, do not listen to what the media outlets say. What Ineos are doing, what they're doing at the moment, they're trying to buy themselves some sort of cushion so that if it does go pear-shaped, they got that cushion to fall on, whereas they say, oh, well, we did tell you that we're not going to sign any players. That's basically what it is, Ephraim. So don't take it like, you know, like literally. I think Man United will have a striker in. Will it happen before the Arsenal game? Probably not. Probably happen in the last day of the transfer window, of course. Big up, Danny B. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course, guys. Absolutely. Isak is going to Liverpool, I think, in East Champions League. I think so. It looks more likely that way. Also, we have to sell our homes. Big up, Gabby's ass. Are you selling your home for real? Big up, David. My goodness me. Bill, Isak is a pie in the sky. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Tyberg, the Glazers are unbelievable. Their arrogance is beyond imaginable. When will they understand this is not the USA and they have history and heritage theirs? They don't care about this football club. And we have to be so careful, guys. I know people love the Yanks. I know they love to go to America. I know they speak the same language. I know all that sweet stuff. I know all that, guys, but what you have to understand, they do not understand football. The only way they got interested in football because it was about money. Yanks don't care about football like we care about football. They didn't even know football existed bloody 30 years ago. They were making jokes about football. All they look at football with is money, money, money. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about what happens on the pitch. They'll give a Scooby-Doo about what happens on the pitch. Absolutely not. Disgusting. RIP Hulk Hogan, absolutely legend of the game, of course, guys. He passed away, Dabisash, yeah, he passed away. We are more interested in Calvert-Lewin. We are finished. I mean, Adam Butler, bigger Adam, by the way. Look, what I would say, Adam, is that if Man United miss out on Sesko, who we got left? Tesco. It is definitely going to be Tesco savings. It definitely is going to be. Bloody hell. I mean, if we carry on like this, it is going to be a little bit, it's going to be bad, isn't it, guys? It is going to be bad. We need to hurry up and get a striker in there. Absolutely. If we had Edward, it would happen. Big up Ephraim, maybe. If you are Isak and you have to choose between United and Liverpool, who would you choose? The simple answer is simple. I mean, if I was a neutral Tyberg, I mean, obviously, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would choose Liverpool. As a Man United fan, if I was a Man United, like I am a Man United fan. If it was me, I'll choose Man United, obviously. But Isak is not a Man United fan. As far as I'm aware, he's not a Man United fan. So, you know what? This sort of loyalty between clubs doesn't really exist, does it? So he's going to go what's best for his career. And he's in a position right now where he's at Newcastle United. Newcastle in the Champions League, you know, and he wants to go to a Champions League. I cannot see any way that Isak would come to Manchester United. Unfortunately, I would love him at Man United, but I cannot see any way that he comes to Man United. There's no way on this earth that I can see him coming. Absolutely not. I'd be incredibly surprised. Somewhere over the rainbow, Isak, no chance. Plus, his wages are too much. 300,000, absolutely. 300,000, guys. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, Simon. Oh, I see. IRP Hulkamania. Big up Dabby's ass. Big up my friend. Salinho, Hell Genio. What's going on, my friend? Salinho to Hell Genio. And it's a goal. Absolutely. Ciao, Mister. Ciao, Bella. What's going on, my friend? I will bet Meghan Markle and Man United will sign Isak. Absolutely. We will think 50, 60 million is too much for a striker and use 32 weeks to negotiate. Take 3.5 million. Move it. Isak is a minimum 100. Man United will be taken to court when we offer them Rasmus Højlund and 25 million. That's what Man United are going to do. We'll be taken to court. They'll be taken to the cleaners. That's what's going to happen, of course. Johnny, let's get real. Isak won't come. Let's look at the prospect. Luke Strassen, great player of the Metz striker, paying 60 million to Villa, and then we'll use the funds to get a better player. Now, let me get into some transfer news, guys. Obviously, a few months ago, I spoke about this player, guys. I don't know if you remember. I don't know everyone who is still here who remembers this player, guys, who I spoke about. His name is Idrissa Gueye. Idrissa Gueye, guys. So Idrissa Gueye is basically, let me just get this up for you. If I can get it. Okay, Idrissa Gueye is a Metz player. It's not the Idrissa Gueye who played for Everton, okay? Idrissa Gueye is the Metz player. So this player is an attacking player who currently plays for Metz, of course, guys. Very, very highly rated player in regards to his age and stuff. So he is a, let me see, like he's an 18-year-old who currently plays for Metz. Idrissa Gueye, 4 million euros is valued at. He's already got a cap for Senegal, got great prospect, great potential, another potential kind of player, kind of striker. Yeah, only had a couple of appearances for Metz, however. Can play as a centre forward, can play as a second striker, can play as a right winger. Extremely versatile and a good prospect. Now, what do we look at? What do we think about when we think about players like Idrissa Gueye? We think about another project player, another player that, you know what, we're going to have to wait till he scores goals. But Man United are incredibly interested in this player, as we were a few months ago, as I mentioned on this channel. Man United are looking to bring in a player like Idrissa Gueye. Now, look, Man United signed a French player, of course, and sent him over to Lausanne on loan. Man United could possibly do that. But, you know, I think Man United need to hurry up. And Man United need to sign strikers who fit and ready right now, rather than looking at the Idrissa Gueyes of this world. Of course, the Metz Idrissa Gueye, not even the Everton one. We have to look at that kind. We have to look at bringing players who are fit and ready now, not ready in a few years' time. Fit and ready now, of course, guys, absolutely. But Idrissa Gueye, 18-year-old player, currently playing for Metz, Senegalese international already, could go for as little as 4 million euros, guys. So that is incredibly cheap, of course, absolutely. Big up. Ciao, good morning. How you doing? Confirm United's tried to sign Sesko. Yes, we have tried to sign Sesko. As confirmed on this channel many times. Been far away from business for a few days, so good to be back with the community. Has been a few days. Big up, Hell, just good to see you back, mate. We were thinking of you, mate. We were thinking of you. Absolutely. We were thinking of you. Absolutely, my friend. Miles, good morning, good evening, good night. How you doing, my friend? That we do well. Hope the new stadium will be a terrible. They couldn't even design that properly. Please, Sal, brother. Absolutely, mate. This is one thing about it. The regeneration project needs to go. It needs to be stopped. This stupid regeneration project. We need to end this regeneration project. We need to stop this from going ahead, because this is what they're looking for. They're looking for this vanity project. That is the regeneration project. The Sir Jim Ratcliffe Stadium, Sir Jim Ratcliffe Way, the Ineos Hotel. You know what I mean? Might as well be the Cecil Hotel, if you know. Absolutely. Dabby says, Vardy, DCL, Rooney, comeback, Jackson. Big up, mate. Rooney's looking terrible at the moment, to be honest with you, guys. Absolutely. Doesn't look, he's younger than me, guys. Rooney's younger than me. Don't take the mick, right? Don't take the piss. Rooney's younger than me. Do I look older than Rooney? Sal, how Newcastle fan will feel when the arrogance of their owners make them lose their Katike and Isak? Look, guys, I bet they thought when Saudi Arabia walked through the door like a boss, that they were going to get all the players in the world, didn't they? Now, they couldn't even get Mbeumo. They want that. Look, they're going to lie to you and say that we didn't want Mbeumo in the first place. They wanted Mbeumo. Of course they wanted Mbeumo. We beat them to Mbeumo. We beat them, and that is what matters, guys. You know what I mean? And they can hold that. Absolutely. They're not going to get anyone. Bill, a Vlahovic possibly and Moyes keen for us. Bill, you know what it is? We're going of A, B, C, D, EFGHIJKMNOPQRSTUVWXYZ. That's what we're doing at the moment. We're going after the WXYZ players, guys. That's what we're going for at the moment. I wouldn't call Vlahovic an XYZ. It's probably MNO, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, what I would say is that, look, when it gets closer and closer to the season starts, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say, look, anyone will do. Bring in anyone, for goodness sake. Just bring in anyone. We need a bloody striker to put the ball in the back of the net. Helge, Sesko is 100% going to Newcastle. The money they receive for Isak Sesko will be peanuts for them to buy. Watkins is off because Villa wants 60 million and they have to get a replacement first also. Absolutely, Helge. We do not want to pay. We don't get no plane. We're not paying 60 million for bloody Watkins. Hell no, we're playing. That's the problem with Manchester United right now. They're not going to pay that amount of money for players. We have a budget. That is the thing with Man United. So if Aston Villa turn around and say, like, we want 60 million for Ollie Watkins, no, you can go, what? They're going to go, what? You know what I mean? Ollie Watkins, absolutely not. It's not happening. It's not happening. Man United are not going to do that. This is a problem that we're going to have in the future, guys. And this is a prime example of what it is. All well and good getting the Cunhas and the Mbumos. But why are you doing that if you're not going to finish the goddamn job? You got to finish the job. You got to get it done. Done, dusted. As I say, when we break a transfer, which is very rare, I can't even use my new phrase, done, dusted. Done and dusted. That's my phrase. I can't even use that anymore. You know what I mean? Because, I've used it once in bloody 6 months. We don't sign players. It's ridiculous. RIP, Hogan, be up, Yale. Hope you're doing well, of course. Hello, Sal. Hope your word day as well. New stadium would be a terrible going even to design. Probably. God bless you. God bless you, Miles. Thank you so much. So good. Such a good comment. You said it twice. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're blessed. Ephraim, so are you confident that this time we will win against Arsenal? Ephraim, I have to be confident. If I'm not confident, who's going to be confident? I think we'll beat Arsenal. That's my opinion. Realistically, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking draw. Right? But I do believe that Man United can squeeze that game. Man United have no problem against these type of teams, as we proved last season that we beat Arsenal with 10 men and the referee against us. Man United have no problem with these type of teams. The problem is when we play Fulham the next game. We'll probably beat Arsenal and lose to Fulham the next game and draw against Burnley. And then here we go again, of course. Helge. Also, we've heard nothing about Mateta massively the whole window. If Watkins and Sesko is off and they are, what prospects of what honestly left? Mateta I would like, but I think that's more of a fan opinion. Helge, I like Mateta. I think Mateta is highly underrated in my opinion. I think if we get anyone, like Mateta was always in my top three, Helge. He was always in my top three. I always looked at Mateta and I thought, yeah, Mateta is in my top three. But you know what? It doesn't seem like we're making any moves for him. But you know what? As the targets get less and less, and as the market becomes smaller and smaller, and the window becomes smaller and smaller as well, Man United have no choice but to make desperate moves. And one of those could be Mateta. And I think that could be a blessing in disguise. If we got Mateta, that would be a blessing in disguise, in my opinion, because I think he's a fabulous player. I think he will cause more problems for the opposition teams than your Gyökeres. I'm not even joking, guys. I think he'll cause more problems for the opposition team than a Gyökeres would. Yale, I hear there is a chance United will loan Mitrovic. The guy is a goal machine in the Championship and have been goal machine in the Saudi League. He's been a goal machine in the Premier League as well, Jale. Mitrovic is an extremely talented footballer. I tell you, he reminds me, Jale, of, I know I don't like saying his name, but he reminds me of Tevez, a monster, a mean machine, someone who can make a difference. I wouldn't be opposed to that, Yali. I would be more up for Mitrovic than some of the players that have been linked to Man United at the moment, i.e. Ollie Watkins, and of course, and players of that ilk. I'd be more happy with that. I don't know why Man United are not going after even Tony, Mitrovic, these type of players, just because they're playing in Saudi Arabia. Even Tony is a monster, guys. If we got even Tony, he'd be a monster up front. You know what I mean? And, he's highly underrated as well. And so is Mitrovic. I think I'll be extremely happy with. I don't know any about what you guys think, but I'll be extremely happy with any one of those players, of course. Absolutely. Guys, another player that Man United are goals, guys. FC linked with. Sal with the linking news. Absolutely. Guys, is a player named Gabriel Sara. Gabriel Sara is a Galatasaray a midfielder, central midfielder. He is a 26-year-old player. Now, he's only valued at around 22 million euros, guys. He can play in central midfield, attacking midfield, and defensive midfield. Only worth 22 to 23 million market value, so it's not too bad. Links are occurring over in Turkey in regards to his signature. Other teams are interested in him, including Tottenham Hotspur. Gabriel Sara has been obviously on Man United's radar for the last few months, but Man United decided not to move forward to that. Man United are mulling over a deal for Gabriel Sara and are a little bit indecisive in regards to this player because he plays in Turkey, of course, guys. But what it is that I believe that he's a good player, Brazil player, of course, successful at Galatasaray, good player. Another one off the conveyor belt of players that Man United are linked to. Bang, there you go. Gabriel Sara, been linked to Manchester United again. Of course, a 26-year-old Brazilian, plays central midfield, attacking midfield, defensive midfield, whatever you want, he'll play for you. And I think that is what Man United need to do. He is a central midfield, attacking midfield, and defensive midfield, believe it or not. That's what Man United need to do. Man United need to sign players who can play in various positions. Because now, at the moment, as the time goes forward, and the window gets shorter and shorter, we're going to have to buy players that can play in various positions because we're very short at the moment, of course, guys. Absolutely. Ephraim, so is there any news about Yavi Guerra? Nothing today. I'm not going to splurt garbage. There is nothing today in regards to Yavi Guerra, but that doesn't mean it won't change tomorrow or the day after. Man United are aware of Yavi Guerra, but at the moment, Man United's priority is the striker. And Man United are looking to bring in a striker before they look at bringing in a midfielder. Once Man United bring in a striker, that's when Man United have to look at selling the likes of Anthony and Garnacho to raise funds to purchase a midfielder and a goalkeeper, of course, guys. So this is the problem that we're going to be having. It's going to take time, guys. It's going to take time. It's going to take ages, of course, which is annoying. As you've seen, Ghana's agents pay Romana a good amount of money to post. Ghana prefers PL. Ghana wants to stay in APL every day. So I think he will go to Chelsea. And I think, Helge, that Ghana doesn't have a leg to stand on. At the end of the day, well, I do believe that he will stay in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think that these players should have the divine right to decide where they want to go. He caused the trouble. He was the problem. No one else. He caused it. And at the end of the day, wasn't it Ruben Amorim backed him all the way? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And he's the one who caused all that issue and stuff like that. So what I would say is that he can either go to Aston Villa or Chelsea. I prefer him to go to Aston Villa, if I'm being totally honest. I don't want him to go to Chelsea. Chelsea is a graveyard. What I would say is that Chelsea got a lot of players already as well. But they have lost Midweeky. They have lost Midweeky, by the way. So you know what? They might need that left-sided player there. Even though they got Gittins and players of that ilk, of course, guys. They still want more. Greedy. Hulk Hogan, I've got a heart attack. Sad, very sad for Hulk. Obviously, big life, of course. Great athlete, great personality. Helge, if I had to put my car on a bet, I would bet that we do. If I had to put my car on a bet, I would bet that we do a weird swap deal with some sorts of Ghana and Nicholas Jackson. It's a nightmare situation. I would prefer to have a gran and he's been dead for 7 years. There you go, Helge. Oh, come on, mate. Yeah, look, you know, at the end of the day, you mentioned Jackson. It's like blasphemy. You know what I mean? But, oh, my God, you mentioned Jackson. Look, I don't know what happened with Jackson. As I said earlier on Breaking Dawn, I don't know what happened with Jackson. Jackson was very highly rated. Before he went to Chelsea, when he was playing in Spain, Manchester United weren't interested in Nicholas Jackson. So what happened to Nicholas Jackson? This is why I feel that the Chelsea graveyard is on par with Manchester United. There are many players, and it's underrated, guys. There are many players that go to Chelsea that flop. We have to keep that in mind. We have to consider that, guys. We really do. I watched a bit of United training that Amorim was welcoming the team on the training pitch. I see good fights between Amorim and Kone. Just get a feeling we will get in a few games in. Hopefully, Bill. Look, at the end of the day, look, you know, Man United have to try all different things, especially in this preseason. Whilst we're in America, why not try things? Do you know what I mean? Why not try? I once tried a pizza pie in Chicago once. I did. I tried a pizza pie and it was disgusting. But you know what? I tried it. I tried my best and I tried it. It's in a restaurant where you could sign your name on the wall. I signed my name on the wall. Bloody hell. Probably signed my insurance papers after I ate that. It was disgusting. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, what Ruben Amorim has to do, right? He has to start playing some of those youngsters and see what they can do. See what they can do. You never know what they can do at the end of the day. And I looked at Kone in the Asian All-Stars and the Hong Kong game, and I was very impressed, in my opinion. Very impressed. So maybe give him a chance. Rooney looks 30 at 16. Rooney looks 70 right now. RIP Hulkamania, big up Kenny, my friend, big up absolute RIP Hulkamania. Does this Isak transfer request come at a too late time in the transfer window? Who can afford to get him? Look, I agree, Yale, to an extent. We have still got a month and a half for the transfer window to end, but this is the sort of transfer, as you said there, that is going to drag on. I do think realistically, he could be going to Liverpool. And if Liverpool sign Isak, you know what? It's going to be very, very difficult for the rest of the teams to keep up with that. They're going to have Ekatike, they're going to have Isak, they're going to have Mohamed Salah in that team as well. You know what I mean? And they've already got Florian Wirtz and Kirkes and, you know what I mean? And Frimpong already. So they're looking like building a dream team at the moment. That is what Liverpool are doing at the moment. And you have to applaud them the way they're doing work. They're really backing their manager. Do you know what I mean? Backing their manager. That is what an ownership should be doing. Now, people are saying, oh, well, Liverpool didn't spend any money last season. They got in the Champions League a couple of times, but they spent 400 million. Where are they getting this money from? 400 million. You get 100 for the Champions League. They've been in the Champions League twice. 200 million. They didn't spend the season before 100 million. Or 300 million. They've already spent 400 million and not got, madness, isn't it, at the end of the day? How they do it, I don't know, mate. Absolutely. Big up Glazers out. Big up Stephen. Hope you're well. Of course. Sal, did you see Rooney and the free rear advertising Ratcliffe Gerandalas? I didn't, mate. What I would say is that there's a lot of ex-players there with a conflict of interest. They have their conflicts of interest in Ineos at the moment because you know what, these players, let me tell you something about these players. They will be bought. They can be bought. They can be purchased, these players. Let me tell you that right now. So whatever Jim Ratcliffe do, they don't care about the club. They don't care about the club. All they care about is their pockets and their reputation. Gary Neville would not say a word wrong about Ineos, because he wants that regeneration project. He wants a piece of the pie. He wants hotel football. That's what he wants. He wants a little piece of that pie. And that is why he won't say anything in regards to hotel football. In regards to Ineos, should I say. Absolutely. Let me just write this. Absolutely. When? Oh, fuck off. Is it true? Hulk's dead? Yeah, he's dead, mate. He died. Heart attack, apparently. One of my greats, one of the greatest. I mean, he changed wrestling forever. He changed it. Absolutely brilliant. And those who know me, I'm quite close to the WWE. I did a little segment on WWE Raw back in 2011 with R-Truth, and basically contributed in him becoming this crazy guy. And we gave him a cigarette and blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit of a segment and stuff like that. So it was brilliant, and great people in the WWE. Undertaker, brilliant. Triple H, brilliant. All great people. And so is Hulk Hogan. And I just want to say thank you, Hulk Hogan, for what you did for my memories, my childhood memories. At the end of the day, what a guy. Absolutely. RIP Hulk. An attack with Vlahovic and Boomer and Cunha will be seriously dangerous, but I feel our board is too stuck up their ass. For me, it's Vlahovic, Mateta, or no one at this point. You know what I'll say, Helge? I agree, mate. I can't disagree with that. At the end of the day, look, Mateta is highly underrated. Vlahovic is going to be highly underrated as well. I would love to see a player. Look, you know what I look at? I look at playing it within Boomer and Cunha. If you had a Vlahovic or you had a Mateta up there with them, I can see it causing a lot of damage. Do you know what I mean? Ollie Watkins is a good player. But for me, Ollie Watkins is the type of player that Alex Ferguson would have signed back in the day as a substitute. That is what he would have signed Ollie Watkins for. And he would have got a main striker. Absolutely. Big up, Helge. We better hope that by some miracle, Liverpool don't get Isak and Saudi Arabia. I mean, my goodness me. If Liverpool get Isak, that is the missing piece in their puzzle, guys. That's the missing piece of the puzzle. They've got the presence up front. They've got the physicality. You play Ekatike there. You've got Ekatike, you've got Isak, and you've got Mohamed Salah. It's going to be absolutely peak, guys. Honestly, we have to be realistic here. We have to be fair. Yale, Mateta just linked to United again today. Hopefully it happens, Yale, my friend. He's a fantastic player. So remember when we were in for Euro, we wouldn't let him rest until we got him. I don't see that kind of intensity now for any of the transfers. You know what I would say about that, Bill? Last season was a very good transfer window in regards to it was their first window, okay? But I treat this like the honeymoon. When they came into the football club, this was their honeymoon. That first window was their honeymoon period, right? So they wanted to impress as much as they could, bringing in the likes of Lenny Euro, even though they wanted Jarrett Branthwaite. We were overpriced for Jarrett Branthwaite. So it was a blessing in disguise, and we ended up getting Lenny Euro. Now, look, you know what? That was great. But you're only as good as this window. It doesn't matter what happened last window. What's going on this window now? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And it seems like they've completely said, that's enough. And over the season, what they've done, they manipulated the fan base to believe we got no money, making all these people redundant, putting season ticket prices up, adding money on top of the season tickets that you have to pay. And here we go. That is what they're doing. So all season, they've been a barrage of negativity of, oh, we can't afford this. We're going to have to raise this. We'll go bankrupt in December. All that nonsense that they've been splurting on the media waves, right? So that it comes to this window, and if they don't sign anyone, they're going to be like, well, we did say, didn't we? We have no money. And people, and some fans are going to say the same thing. Oh, you know what? Yeah, well, they didn't have any money. They had to make some people redundant anyway. Making people redundant was a manipulation tactic, so you get the illusion that we have no money. They are scumbags, absolute scumbags, a lot of them, absolutely. Helge. I don't understand why we don't go for Evan Nilsson, by the way. Yeah, I spoke about him yesterday, Helge, for Bournemouth. We are interested in him, interested FC. I think he'll be one of the best strikers in the world in 3 or 4 years. I highly rate him, and he will easily be a baller for us. Yes, I spoke about him yesterday, Helge. If you watched the show yesterday, actually made the thumbnail with him on it and everything like that. Absolutely brilliant player, underrated player. Brazil international, Evan Nilsson, yeah, great player. I don't know why, mate. I don't know why. As I said many, many times about this whole project, what's going on, we are very tunnel visioned. We don't look left. We don't look right. We just got one target, and that's what we do. We don't look anywhere else. And that is the problem with Man United, what we're doing at the moment. No ambition, absolutely, Jamie. Helge, I have always had Mateta ahead of Sesko and Gyökeres, and I don't care if people disagree. I'm allowed to my opinion. I think Mateta is a beast. Give me Mateta, Tony, Mitrovic, Vlahovic. What do you feel, Helge, when you think about Mateta? What do you feel? What do you feel? I feel danger. I feel, oh, naughty. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a good striker. I feel it. I feel like I see a player that's fearless. I see a player that can hold up the ball, bring players into it, can head the ball, can strike the ball. What did he do against Manchester City in the final of the FA Cup? Absolutely dominated them. Gyökeres can't do that. Probably Osman couldn't do that either. But you're absolutely right. I would be very, very happy with Tony, Mitrovic, or Vlahovic. I would be. And I agree with Helge. And I've been speaking about this for a long time. You don't have to look so far to find good players. It's the fact that Man United are more interested in selling shirts than buying good players that are going to work for the system. And that's what I would say. Absolutely. I would take Mitrovic, me too, Johnny. Good attitude as well. That's one thing we need, guys. We need players with that attitude. You know, that Tevez sort of attitude. I know we don't like Tevez. I know what happened with Tevez, but he's got that attitude that Man United have been lacking. Who can get you, grab you by the scruff of the neck and bring you forward. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we need. Absolutely. Big up, Helge. Sick that you mentioned Tony, by the way. I talked 1 hour with a friend of mine, just Tony, and I said he's a striker I want the most in the world to come to United, was captain of Brentford. No, great minds think, Helge, we are good football. We have football brains, don't we? We know he's a good player. I don't care if he's gone to Saudi Arabia. We know he's a good player. We know if he came to Man United, he'd be more effective than bloody Calvert-Lewin and probably even Ollie Watkins. He would add a new dimension to Man United that we haven't had in a very long time. You know, strength, power, leadership, attitude. We haven't had that. Guys, I take you back to the European Championships with England against Switzerland, right? Tony is not only a beast in the box, he's calmness personified. He's calm. Look at the penalty against Switzerland. Look at the penalty. Up, poof, in the corner. That shows a lot about his character, guys. That shows a lot about him as a player. And I think the way we're sleeping on players like Mitrovic, players like Vlahovic, players like even Tony, I think it's disgraceful. Because I think all the players that we're linked with at the moment, all the players that are out there at the moment, I think even Tony's better than Sesko. I do, right? I believe that Mitrovic is probably going to be more effective than Sesko right now and Ollie Watkins right now. But we're just looking at one area. You know what I mean? At the moment, we're looking at one. Well, everyone wants Sesko, so we're going to go after Sesko as well. Arsenal wants Sesko, so we're going to go after Sesko as well. It's crazy, isn't it? Jamie, Ineos need to piss off in August. He's done enough damage to our reputation. Ineos are crazy, man. I don't know why they ended up. Well, I don't know why he took this football club. Well, I do know why he took this football club, to be fair. Vanity project, Sir Jim Ratcliffe Stadium, Sir Jim Ratcliffe Way, Ineos Hotel, and all that business. That's why he took it. The reason he didn't want to rebuild Old Trafford was precisely that. He knows that he can't put his footprint all over Old Trafford because Old Trafford is a historical landmark. He knows that. He could have fixed Old Trafford. Of course he could have fixed Old Trafford. He just made a bunch of excuses, just like he's doing this transfer window, to make people think, oh, we can't rebuild Old Trafford. Do you think Real Madrid, right, Liverpool will move away from Anfield and the Bernabeu? Hell no. Do you think Barcelona will move away from the Nou Camp? Hell no. They rebuild it on that spot. They rebuild it on that spot. What we're doing, we're using all excuses. And I take you back to Arsenal. Arsenal went to Emirates many years ago now. And they haven't been quite the same team, have they? They haven't won the same trophies. They haven't won leagues. They won nothing, right? As much as people big them up and people say they're scary, they're definitely not scary, guys. They're as scary as bloody the Cookie Monster. That's what I would say. That is Arsenal right now. Arsenal is as scary as the Cookie Monster. That's what I would say right now. In fact, the Cookie Monster's up so num. They're much more like scary than Arsenal. I don't have no fear when I see Arsenal. Actually, no. When I see Arsenal, I see tie. I see tie in my head. Straight away, Arsenal tie. Arsenal tie. Straight away, it comes in my head. So what I would say is that these ownership, this part ownership, this vanity project, whatever it is, we all know why it was brought into place. We all know, because at the end of the day, when they wanted this regeneration project, they wanted their name, their footprint all over Manchester United. That's what they wanted, unfortunately. And this is where we are today, of course, guys. Sad as it is. Sal, sorry, Sal, about misspelling invitation. Will never stop me typing RP Hulk. I miss 98s. Big up, Miles. I miss the 98. I miss the 1990s as well. Absolutely fantastic times. Simple times, of course, guys. Absolutely simple times. Yale. Big up Yale, by the way. I like the idea of Mitrovic, Cunha, and Buma being outside. I mean, that's naughty, isn't it, Yale? In it, bruv. That is naughty, mate. That's like, Mitrovic, Cunha, and Mbumo. That's naughty. That's like not going to take any prisoners. Strike force. I know that Mitrovic is 30. I know that, but he can come to Man United for next to nothing, and I'm sure that he would love to come to Manchester United. Now, his final swan song before he retires, it'd be brilliant. I would love him at Man United. When he played for Fulham, he always gave us a problem. He was an absolute nightmare to defend against. Sal, do you think prioritizing number 10 before strikers was a mistake? No, Ephraim, because I was led to believe that Man United are going to build the attack. So I do believe that Man United needed Mbumo. Man United couldn't miss out on Mbumo. Mbumo is a very good player that we cannot miss out on. Let me tell you that right now. He's going to revolutionize Man United, let me tell you. Because every single position in that football pitch is equally as important as it is as each other. Whether it's number 10, whether it's number 9, whether it's the midfield, whether it's the right wing back, whether it's the goalkeeper. Every single position is just as important as the other. So if Man United went out and signed a goalkeeper right now, before anything else, I go, well, I understand why they signed a goalkeeper and stuff like that. I'll be like that. So I think it's just as important. And Mbumo will score a lot of goals. And Mbumo scored 20 goals last season. So he's going to help us significantly. I actually think he's more important. And I would be more confident Mitrovic would be a success after Sesko and your Keres. Absolutely. You know what I would say, Helge? I really hope that your Keres flops. I do. Sorry, guys. I don't care what people say. I hope he flops. As weird as it sounds, I just don't feel any doubt in my body on Mitrovic, Tony, and Mateta. They have such an alpha energy. Absolutely. I hate to use that word, but I get what I'm saying. They could. Exactly. I know what you're saying. And there's nothing wrong with saying that at the end of the day. The world needs more of that. Alpha males. You know what I mean? It needs more of that. We've got too much softies and snowflakes in this world these days. Now, what we need, right? We need players like that. You take the game by the scruff of the neck. Why the hell what are you doing? Grab the player by the shirt. What did Roy Keane used to do? That's what we need. We're crying out for them sort of players. But I don't know what is wrong. These days, we just want to buy, tiki-taka, nice little tiki-taka, nice little players, nice confidence. Don't hurt the ball. Don't hurt the ball. Please don't hurt the ball. You know what I mean? That's what we are at the moment. Araya, what's going on? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sal. Don't trust United Watkins. It's 60-minute deal. Sesko is 60-minute. All of them are. But as we've been talking now, why don't we go after even Tony? Why don't we go after Mitrovic? Why don't we go after Vlahovic? Where is it? Why are we not scouting in Japan? Why are we not going over there? What are we doing with ourselves? What are we doing? I don't understand what this board are doing. I really don't. I mean, they're just like, oh, you know what? Arsenal wanted Sesko, so let's get Sesko as well. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Look, if Man United comes to the end of the window and Man United signs Sesko, I'm not going to be absolutely devastated and crying my eyes out. Right? But I would trust the player and I would back the player to the hill and back. But there are options out there. There are players out there that can make a difference for Manchester United, who can cause havoc in that against Arsenal on the opening game of the season, in my opinion. Of course, Asif, good morning. RB Leipzig and Sesko agreement already to lower the player price. 70, 80 million. Chelsea, Villa and Spurs will wait until August to see United panic sell. Absolutely, bruv. This is what's going to happen. And here we go again, of course. Hulk Hogan was my childhood man and heartbroken. Big up Hulk Hogan, of course. Legend of the game, of course, guys. Absolutely, guys. Isak may be expensive, but why not try an installment deal to get Isak, as Randy said? Why not try it? Because Man United want to give you the illusion that they got no money. Man United could quite easily do a deal for Isak. The problem being is that if Isak leaves, Newcastle will be reluctant to sell him to Manchester United. Newcastle will want to replace Isak straight away with a player like Sesko. You know, so what they're going to want a big chunk of money up front. Newcastle are not going to entertain Man United. Saudi Arabia are not going to entertain Man United £20 a month. That's the thing, isn't it? But there we are. That's where we are today. Big up, Sal. Don't trust United. Their Sesko is too expensive at 60 million, but Watkins is it don't add up. Absolutely. People have their own price tags these days, guys. They have their own price tag on these players, and you know what? I mean, I know that he's 29, and I know that, you know what, that's a lot of money for a 29-year-old, but you have to pay what you have to pay at the end of the day. The team want that much money, you're going to have to do what you have to do. Helge, they want Jackson so little that they only do that, but then buy replacement, then buy 2 strikers. So he has no choice but to leave. How in the hell are we progressing as a club buying third choice striker? I mean, it's mad, isn't it, mate? We are, as I said earlier a few days ago, that we are Chelsea's mafia, but we're the ones who get fucked up. So basically, we give Chelsea money and we get fucked up. We're like an upside down mafia. That's what we are at the end of the day. But Chelsea's mafia. We're Chelsea's Gomorrah. That's what we are. Absolutely. A big up, Helge. Shaffordine, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. United should go and buy Sammy and Baleba, and that would be a good deal for us. I mean, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, Shaffordine. We've spoken about Baleba a lot on this channel. Unfortunately, Man United are not doing 2 deals at once. They're very slow at doing deals. Baleba will be an absolutely generational player, of course. Jamie, Liverpool look to accelerate the Isak deal in the next few days via Craig Hope. I mean, if they manage, Jamie, if they manage to get Isak, it's looking very precarious. It's looking very dangerous. It is looking dangerous. I'm not saying that it's absolutely going to be work and it's going to be fire. I'm not saying that. It might flop. It might flop. But when you're signing players of that ilk, Premier League proven, absolute beast, and you're adding potential on top of that, with Frimpong, with Kirkes, with Florian Wirtz, you're going to have to look at that and think that is looking a little bit dangerous. That's looking tasty for Liverpool, isn't it? We have to hold our hands up. I watched Ben Jacobs at United stand saying that if United bring money, they will still want to be able to buy unless they offload and show profit on the books for 25, 26, given the player wage United has. Look, at the end of the day, Asif, these rules that have been in place for many, many months now, a year now, they can be manipulated. Chelsea are manipulating the rules time in, time out. We just don't want to manipulate the rules. The Glazers, Ineos, do not want to manipulate the rules because they don't want to spend money. And that is basically what it is. They can manipulate the rules. They can. Look at Chelsea done. They sold the women's team to themselves to look it like it's good on the books, to make it look like that. We just don't want to spend money. We can manipulate. We can manipulate the rules to make it work in our favor. And we're actually bigger than Chelsea. We actually make more profit than Chelsea. It's mad, isn't it? Araya, I'm pretty sure there's South American strikers available at Telly and the world in the big. I'm falling for that bullshit. Araya, absolutely. There is. Me, Danny B, all people on this channel, this great community, of course. We've been speaking about South American players, Japanese players, Asian players, You name it, we've mentioned Mexican players. We've mentioned them all. We've mentioned them all. Name it, we've mentioned them. We probably mentioned them in one show. Name any player, we probably mentioned them in a show. That's what we did. They do not want to spend money. They want to have as little possibility of spending money as possible. And if they do spend money, they want to get a player that sells shirts. The reason why they're not buying from South America or Mexico or Japan or wherever it is, they want players that are going to sell shirts. Now, if they buy it in Mbumo, it's going to sell shirts, right? But Mbumo is very good, so I can let them off with that. If they buy Sesko, going to sell shirts. But if they buy Rodrigo, who currently plays for Corinthians, they're not going to buy. He's not going to sell shirts. And that's the thing with them. That is all they care about. That's another day down, and no one through the door. Absolutely, Bill. Time is of an essence, of course. And as time ticks, the time comes smaller and smaller, and delusion comes in. This makes sense now. Why United is delaying more signings? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Big up, Esed, by the way. Bro, the polo you have in is fire. Just to say it's slick as fuck. Thank you, Helge. Thank you, Helge. Really appreciate that, mate. Really appreciate it. Nice to have a comment. Guys, I want to show you this. I want to congratulate one of the great chatterboxers, the breaking dawners. One of the greats of this channel is Grayo. And Grayo has been part of this channel for a very, very long time. And you know what? A few months ago, I made a little task. I drew a picture. It was a crap picture. It wasn't the best picture I've ever done. I've done it on the back of a cardboard piece of paper, which is part of a book. Right, and basically, I said, if I ever get to 10,000, I'm going to give this picture out to whoever wins it, basically. And Grayo won it, you know. And basically, he won the picture. I sent him off the picture, and here is Grayo with the picture, guys. There is Grayo with the picture. Here we go. Chatterbox. There we go. Chatterbox. That's the picture there. Big up Grayo. Much love to Grayo. He's got the picture. It's here in his hands, live in color. Well, it's black and white, but it is live in color, guys. My head is not that big. My eyebrows are not that big. But I'm telling you one thing about this. You know what? There you go. That is what it is. Big up Grayo for that. Absolutely brilliant. And we keep that up there for a little while. Guys, absolutely good to see Grayo, of course, guys, absolutely. Held, you legend. Thank you so much for your super chat, my friend. Gimme, Anna Mitch, Alexander Mitchell. I think you'd say a man after midnight. I was going to go, whoa, where are you going with that, mate? But thank you so much, Elge. Big up yourself, you absolute legend. Thank you for all your support, of course. Didn't see the show yesterday, so crazy. You talked about him and mentioned him today, but yeah, I love him, Evan Nilsson. Yeah, he's on the thumbnail, mate. Yesterday, he's on the thumbnail, guys. Guys, a little bit about tomorrow. I am flying back tomorrow, back to the UAE, so there will be no streams tomorrow. Guys, just to clarify, there will be no streams tomorrow. I will be posting content on the short video, so I would love it if you guys get involved in my short videos. I will be back on Saturday like normal, but tomorrow I am flying back to the UAE, guys. So, guys, don't forget to subscribe, smash a like, write comments, share, do all that sweet stuff. That'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. I won't be here tomorrow, unfortunately. Don't miss me too much. Don't miss it. And don't go after any of those other channels, guys, because I know what they do. They're like little vultures. Little vultures coming on my channel, trying to grab my great subscribers, of course. Jamie, that's actually the state of our football club. Me too, mate. Absolutely. Helge, when I see Mateta, I see no fear in his eyes. I got this. I see the person who steps up the plate when he's going and get stuff. That's why I want an alpha striker. Confidence from his side. Absolutely, mate. And this is one thing I would say. He's probably had a hard life as well. He probably has had a half life as well. But again, thank you, Helge, for the super chat. Really appreciate that, mate. What about Porter striker Samu? He was bullied. I mean, Chow, we've mentioned him a number of times. We've got strikers up to our arm that we've been mentioning, guys, in regards to who Man United can sign. Who's the next one going to go through? Rah, 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 blah, blah, blah. Who's the next one going to go through? And to be honest with you, you know what? There are a lot of strikers out there. Man United just need to look past their nose, basically. They need to look past their nose, of course. That's what Man United need to do, of course, guys. Look past their bloody nose, of course. Guys, absolutely. Comments. Big up everyone, of course. Helge, We have had too many attackers and players who rely on outer validation. Absolutely. Likes, followers, comments, love the media, etc. Mitrovic, Mateta, Tony Vlahovic. No, don't take any shit, basically, isn't it? That's what we need. Absolutely. Normal lad, what's going on? Do you know Christopher Favel? He signed Sesko, in my opinion. Do you research Sesko is world class? Normal lad. Normal lad. Let me tell you something. Sesko's not world class at the moment. Does Sesko have the opportunity to be world class? Yes, he does. But 13 goals in 33 appearances in the Bundesliga, my son, is not world class. As much as he has the potential to be world class, we cannot overrate what world class really is, guys. You know what I mean? World class, there's a different level to world class. I will tell you what world class is. If you want me to tell you world class, I will tell you what world class is. Sesko is a highly rated player that has the potential to eventually be world class. Right now, is he world class? Absolutely. Christopher Favel is close to Sesko. So what? So what? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's his mate. Mate's weight, so we're going to go for that as well, as we always done. We are looking at Watkins, Sesko, and Jackson. If you were in the board, we'd be looking at Mitrovic, Tony, Mateta. Absolutely violence. That is not being geniuses or world-class scouts. They're shy. Absolutely, mate. We're going to make a new stadium, in my opinion. Old Trafford is not going to be rebuilt. Laugh my ass off. Our new stadium is going to be legendary. That shows me, normal lad, that you don't understand what Man United is all about, normal lads. You don't understand what Old Trafford is about the historical heritage behind Old Trafford, where Old Trafford has been, where it is right now. You think that a stadium that looks like a tent is going to be a very beautiful stadium, and it's going to be good old Jim Ratcliffe's little vanity project? Because it will be, mate. I'm telling you that right now. Don't fall for that tricks. You're so gullible at the end of the day. Maybe I'll go take your bank account details. You might give me your bank account details as well, because you're very gullible and naive, my friend. But there you go. You can't have everything in life. I've probably got nothing, of course. Absolutely. And you are talking shite, mate. I could school you on that every single day of the week. We talk about this every single day of the week. You talk shite. You are a shite head. You are a shite head. That's what you are, mate. Sorry, mate. You're a shite head. You are a Glazer sympathiser at the end of the day. You know what? Jim Ratcliffe went to bed with the Glazers. You were probably under the blanket. What you talking shite about? You're so going to pay to go watch us when we're going to show absolute mug. Mug, exactly. Absolute mug. You're an absolute mug, normal lad. You're definitely not normal. You're definitely not normal. Definitely not. That is something that, you know what I mean? I know we're repeating ourselves, but the vision, Mitrovic in front of Cunha and Mboma or Tony or Mateta, even Real Madrid would shake their pants if they met that. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Alex Ferguson didn't necessarily go out and sign the most famous player, did he? At the end of the day, he didn't exactly do that, did he? At the end of the day, he went out and signed the players that fit the team, that work with the team. You know what I mean? We're just looking at the obvious at the moment, in my opinion. King Jam. Is Gabriel Sara the midfield we are linked to? Gabriel Sara is a midfield Man United linked to. Man United are linked to many midfielders at the moment, but it is a midfield that we are linked to. I don't want any racist players like Mitrovic. He's not racist, mate. Come on, don't be a snowflake or Araya at the end of the day. Don't be he's not racist. Don't say that. People are so sensitive these days. So bloody sensitive. You know what? I'm more mixed than most people. You know, I'm like the bloody United Nations of bloody streaming. You know what I mean? The way I am. You know what I mean? And I've been criticised, cussed, dissed, you know, every single day. Whatever, man. For the sake of argument, what are your thoughts on Justin Kluivert and Bournemouth game? Not bad. Not bad. Is an option, Asif. Absolutely is an option. And like I said, Asif, if it gets to the end of the window, and we haven't signed anything, I won't mind that, to be honest. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sesko's a world-class player, mate. You're a world-class bellend. Doesn't matter. Guys, the top four have ambition. We don't. Big up. Hi, Bill, buddy. Big up everyone, of course. Guys, the City Man is a good deal for Sesko. There we go. The guy's still talking. They're saving up for that cash machine stadium. That's why they won't spend. Absolutely, mate. He looks like, yeah. If Buzz, big up Buzz, by the way. He looks like he's if Isak leaves, he's going to go to Newcastle. Yeah, he's not world class though. Justin, yeah, Sesko gentleman's agreement with RB Live, 60 million plus add-ons. Sentiments agreement with RB Leipzig to leave for 60 million. Yeah, I've read that one. Big up, my friend. Arsenal moving for hybrid to Emirates cost them 10 plus years, and they're still costing them at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, guys. Dusan Vlahovic, 24, 25, 29 games, 10 goals, 4 assists. He had injury record, Asif, didn't he? He had injury problems. Obviously, we have to look at that. Manchester United sources dismissed signing Isak with one sign. They dismiss signing anyone. That's what Man United do. We're good at dismissing. We're probably the best at dismissing. Talking about world class, we're probably the best at dismissing transfers. We're probably world class at dismissing transfers. That's what we are at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Guys, I want to say I won't be back. I won't be here tomorrow. I am traveling, guys, but I will be posting some short videos. So I would like you to get involved in that. Please keep the Stretford Post train. Keep going, guys. Let's keep pushing it. Let's keep climbing. Well on our way to 20,000 subscribers. Let's keep going, guys. And let's keep the energy up with Stretford Post, guys. This is the realist. This is where we are. Held, you absolute legend. What are you at? 3 pizza toppings when they're eating out. My 3 pizza toppings, pepperoni, meat, any type of meat, chicken, that kind of thing, cheese, mozzarella cheese, of course, tomatoes, of course. That'll do me. I like a diavola. That's my favorite. Absolutely. Big up everyone who's joined me today. Absolute legend. Thank you so much, Harold, you diamond. And thank you, Grayo. I have shown it, guys. Gone framed and hung it up on my wall. Did you see it, Grayo? Let me just put it up again, Grayo. You see about this community, guys? A normal lad, you see this? This is our community. This is what we're all about, mate. Proper people in this chat, mate. Proper knowledgeable people in this chat, mate. I will teach you about Hearts of Oak in Ghana, all the way over to FC Tokyo in Japan. If you want me to teach you about the birds and the bees of football, I will do that for you. That's no problem. But what I'll do, big up Grayo, one of the legends, absolute legends of Stretford Post, guys. Much love, you diamonds, of course, guys. That is what it is all about. Big up Tyborg, of course, and big up every single person who's joined me today, apart from one knob, but that's all right. You know, you can't have everything in life. You know what I mean? We have a very good community. What a boring day tomorrow without the streams. Anyway, have a nice trip, Sal. Thank you. I'm going back to UAE. I will be back. Of course. Thank you so much, guys. Damn, I miss your stream tomorrow, but safe flight, bro. Thank you so much, Jamie. Absolute love to you, brother. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. You absolute diamonds, of course. Guys. But, guys, I'm off, and I will be uploading any short videos and anything. Anytime I get, I will be uploading some content whilst I'm traveling. I'm going to be traveling for a long time. Of course, I'm going to Vienna, then I'm going to Doha, then I'm going from Doha, then I'm going down to Abu Dhabi, guys. So all prayers to me, and guys, thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you day after tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. Have a great day, and if anything breaks, I will speak to the flight attendants, and I will try and go online, guys, if I could do that possibly. But have a great day, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. See you soon. Peace.